Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine. I'm here with Dan Rowe, the president and CEO of Visit Panama City Beach. And we're going to talk about that destination as a place that's midway between Tallahassee and Pensacola. It's on the south coast of the Panhandle. Why fight the crowds in Miami when you can go to someplace on the beach in Florida? And we're going to talk about that on Insider Travel Report. Let's talk about Panama City in terms of before COVID and what you've been doing and what's happening.
I mean, Panama City Beach is a great destination. I mean, we've been welcoming tourists since the 1930s, and it really has been one of those great all-American beach towns that have grown up over time. And we really have been doing quite well. The Gulf Coast in general is really thriving because our beaches are second to none. And it's a great place to be. The old adage is when you get our sand between your toes, you will be back. Before COVID, we were expecting to have a record-breaking year. Everything was lining up to be another just wonderful time to be at the beach. We were moving forward, just very excited, and until the middle of March when everything, the wheels fell off the bus.
Or the dune buggy, because I'm looking at your live feed, and so that happened, and then obviously visitors dropped off. But you didn't just sit there going, "Oh, woe is us." What did you do?
No, I mean, we know that, Panama City Beach is a great place to be. And we really were trying to balance the needs of our local residents, our tourism businesses, and our visitors, because all three are important stakeholders, to make, the vibe of Panama City Beach go forward. One of the things that we have learned over time is our visitors love this place as much as local residents. And so we really are focused on engagement. How do we bring them in and to continue that conversation with them, even when, it was not, people were unable to travel. When the governor had shut down vacation rentals in the state of Florida, when people were scared about getting out and moving, we encouraged everybody to follow those CDC guidelines, and it wasn't appropriate for them to come to the beach then. But we stayed in touch with them because we knew when it was time, the sun was still shining, when its time was right, that we would welcome visitors back to the beach, and our visitors came.
So when was the time right, and when did it start happening?
Well, we were pretty much shut down completely from mid-March until the week before Memorial Day weekend, and then the governor asked each county in the state of Florida to put together a plan on how to safely reopen their vacation rental businesses. And the county we're in, Bay County, submitted that plan, and the governor's office approved it. And then we were, on the road to recovery. The people here take it seriously, because people know that visitors want to go where they feel safe, and our local residents also wanted to feel safe. And so we really started to implement, from my organization's standpoint, a series of ways to communicate, maintaining social distancing, wearing masks indoors, doing those things that the CDC, asks us to do. Because with that, we're able to enjoy, all the wide open spaces on Panama City Beach and to keep everyone safe, but also to allow our economy to get moving again, because there's a lot of hardworking families that are dependent on visitor spending. People, that are here, lived here for generations. This is their livelihood, and it's part of our job is to help them continue to survive.
So the pandemic is one issue, but you have had other crises before. And as you compare the numbers, how far back should we go to do that?
Well, we have faced a lot in Panama City Beach. 10 years ago, it was Deepwater Horizon oil spill, and we were able to recover from that. In 2018, on October the 10th, Hurricane Michael, the third strongest storm to hit the continental United States, came roaring through Bay County, and, we were impacted by that. And so the beach was largely missed, but it was the bedroom communities to the east and inland of us that took the brunt of the hit. And then our sister to the east, Mexico Beach, was really where the most of the damage happened. So from a comparison standpoint, we always go back to before the storm, because that allows us to be able to measure apples to apples, because in Panama City Beach in 2019 there was a false economy that was created by all the people that were coming into Panama City Beach to help us recover from the storm. And so there were lots of insurance adjusters and contractors and power company personnel that we all truly appreciated that were coming to help us out, but we didn't really want to focus on those as from a comparison standpoint, because we hope to never have to go through that again, and so we hope to never have to compare to that.
All right. So, but now that you have, what the results?
Well, the results are from 2018. Our revenues in the second quarter of 2020 were down significantly. We lost 50% of our revenues in the month of March, 85% in the month of April, and in the month of May it was about 30%. And that's about $500 million in direct visitor spending. So I mean, it was a significant number in terms of the scope. And it was, tourist destinations across the country were feeling that same difficulties. But after we were able to get back on our feet, for the year, our revenues will be down just about 7%.
Wait, that's this year?
This year.
Okay,
Yes.
That's where I'm getting at. So compared to 2018?
Correct.
Okay.
And yes, so we are, we have, from an economic standpoint, have almost completely recovered, from the pandemic, that happened in the second quarter. Now, as we go forward, we're still, concerned and cautious about, our future revenues, because no one knows the twists and turns that the pandemic will take. But we do believe that we are very well situated because of the layout of the beach, the way that we're, spread out over 27 miles, that we will do pretty well comparatively, because this is a great place to be. We have a high quality of life, and, and it's just a lot of fun.
Well, now let's talk about why PCB in terms of places to stay. What are the top places to stay, for example?
We have some really great vacation rentals here. I mean, that's a mainstay of our business. And we have seen, that people during the pandemic, a lot of folks, if they can work from anywhere, are doing what I'm doing. They're Zooming from the beach. People are able to, their kids are remote, so they can come and stay in a vacation home or, one of our condominiums. But we also have some great hotels. The Sheraton Panama City Beach has been through 2 renovations over the last few years, and is a great place for people to stay. And we also have a lot of hotels that are currently under construction. We have an Embassy Suites that is moving vertical. We have a Homewood Suites is breaking ground later this week, and then we have some other hotels that are beachfront that really have some great amenities. They're in the mid-limited service market, but the experience that they provide is they over-deliver on the brands. Whether it's a Spring Hill Suites or a Hampton Inn, I mean, we have some of the best product for Middle America that you can find at any beach anywhere in the Southeast.
Okay, and now let's say you get hungry. Let's talk about some top places to eat.
If you get hungry in Panama City Beach, you're not looking, because there's great restaurants up and down the beach. Captain Anderson's restaurant is a mainstay. It is on Wine Spectator's Golden Spoon, or the Wine Spectator's top restaurants across the country. It also wins the Golden Spoon from Florida Trend Magazine. Grand Marlin is another great seafood restaurant, but we also have some great dives. I mean, those places that are just holes in the wall that people just love to go because the food is outstanding. And new restaurants are popping up all the time. One of our chefs who just opened a new restaurant, he really has been a great following in Panama City Beach, as he has moved from a couple of different restaurants in town, really perfecting his culinary experience. We have chefs here who've cooked for presidents, and we continue to welcome everybody here, because this is one of those great places to come just enjoy the freshest of seafood.
That's great. Let's talk about some cool things to do.
In Panama City Beach, there's always great things to do, whether you're, in, on, or under the water. We're one of the top scuba diving destinations in the state of Florida, second only to the Keys. And part of it is because, we had the Gulf of Mexico is absolutely just breathtaking body of water, and the water is very clear here. We're known for sugar white sands and emerald green waters, and
I see
because
that.
of and because of that, it's a great place to come, and dive. But also, one of the things that families just absolutely love to do is rent a pontoon boat, because we do have the Gulf of Mexico, but we also have St. Andrew Bay, which is a great body of water for families to get out and just to get a pontoon boat, be a captain for the day, just enjoy themselves. We have a huge collection of bottlenose dolphin here. So anytime you're out on the water, you're sure to see a dolphin or a manta ray. I mean, it's just really a great place to be. And there's some other places you can get off the beaten path into, the freshwater creeks to go kayaking or stand-up paddleboarding. So there's always something to do here. But, hanging out on the sand and not doing a lot also is quite attractive.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, did I hear correctly? There's some events, some major events coming up.
One of the things is we have always liked to give people another excuse to come back to the beach. In addition to their summer travel, we're always planning things, to make sure that people have another excuse to come back and enjoy, the world's most beautiful beaches. The next big event we have coming up, is next spring, and it's Unwind, which is a craft, spirits, wine, and food festival that we put on, which is a great garden party in the spring. And right after that, we have one of the premier country music festivals at the end of March, which is Gulf Coast Jam. And then in April, we end up with the Seabreeze Jazz Festival, which is one of the top 10 jazz festivals in the United States. And those who like to ride Harleys, twice a year, we have, big, motorcycle rallies. So the first weekend in May and the third weekend in October, if you're a motorcycle enthusiast, this is the place to be. If you're not, I would encourage you to come any of the other 50 weeks out of the year, because it's just like today.
Right.
So there's always something going on here. We've had to revise some of the plans because of COVID. A lot of those big events were canceled this year. But, as we go into the future, we are making those plans to ensure that they are COVID compliant, to make sure that everybody is safe. Because again, we're all in this together, and we want to make sure that everybody who comes to the beach has a great time and comes back again, because our goal is not to get you here once. Our goal is to make this your beach of choice.
Well, speaking of motorcycles, I would think that it's easy to get there. You can drive there, certainly, but let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we're easy to get to. I mean, because we're close to the majority of the United States population. All the way from Texas into the Carolinas. It's an easy drive from here. In the wintertime, we get a lot of folks that are drive down from the upper Midwest, because they come and just enjoy themselves. So we're easily accessible from a variety of interstate highways that funnel into Panama City Beach. But we also have great air service. Because our airport was opened in 2010, and now it is served by all the major carriers, Delta and Southwest, American and United. So, you can fly here. And with the protocols that the airlines have been putting into place, it is safe to fly here. And our airport is one of the best performing airports in the state of Florida right now, because of, all the folks that are coming in here while maintaining, all of those things that the CDC asks us to do.
That's great. Well, let's wrap this up by just saying, we go out to almost 100,000 travel advisors. They're looking to place people, the right client in the right location and right destination. How can they learn more?
Well, they can learn more by going to our website, which is visitpanamacitybeach.com. It's a great resource for travel advisors to find out information. And if they want any specific information, our sales team is standing by, ready to assist. And we reach out to our partners, in the travel space, because it's important for everybody to be a part of the solution. And the travel advisors do have insights and understanding that visitors want to know, and we appreciate them, being a partner in all of this.
That's great. If anyone questioned whether you were using a digital background, the wind that we just heard proved that unless you had a big fan in the office, you're out there.
No, there's no better place to do this. This is the new normal, as people are, working from, hybrid, office settings that we're getting a lot of folks that are coming down here, working from the beach, and and it works, with high-speed internet access and, the technology today, people are much freer to travel. And I think that bodes very well for all of us as we get, through and beyond the pandemic.
That's the perfect wrap up. That's what I needed. Dan, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for all that you're doing to help us and to help our travel advisors have a better understanding of what's out there.
And this is Alan Fine from Insider Travel.